chills all see his grave. Drowning in the monotony, no escape today. But I need a haircut, break the static's hold. Losing up this time, it bites the story's toll.
Hey you guys, it's Mo. There is a story that's sort of related to Karen Read that I really hope is moving forward to a trial towards justice. Enrique Delgado-Garcia death investigation, what we know 6 months later. Now, Enrique Delgado-Garcia was a police recruit who actually died of an alleged boxing training incident. This man had the ever-living tar taken out of him. And it is refreshing to know that there is an investigation. However, there are it's Massachusetts. It's been 6 months since Enrique Delgado-Garcia died. The recruit, pinned as a state trooper on his deathbed, was participating in a boxing training, then had to be hospitalized at the Massachusetts State Police Academy in New Braintree last September. His stepfather says the family still hasn't received any information about the cause of his death as the investigation remains ongoing. In a recent exclusive interview with Telemundo Nueva Inglaterra, he said his wife cries every morning and sometimes they feel powerless, but he has faith that the authorities will reach a conclusion about what happened. And God, please, can Massachusetts let this be the one thing you don't cock up. Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell appointed former prosecutor David Meyer to lead an independent investigation into his death after Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. recused his office due to Delgado-Garcia's previous employment there as a victim witness advocate. So this was a good man who tried to help people during the worst time of their lives. Now, Meyer has hired 8 investigators to his team with experience in local, state, and federal law enforcement. In a release, he wrote the following information about each team member. Lisa Holmes is a retired superintendent at the Boston Police Department, where she was a supervisor in the department's Bureau of Professional Development and Boston Police Training Academy. Thomas Laird is a former FBI assistant special agent in charge at the FBI Boston field office and is now managing his own investigative firm. Gretchen Lundgren is a former assistant district attorney with the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office and a special assistant United States attorney in the United States Attorney Office in Boston, now with the Mission Advisory Investigation Group. Kimberly Lawrence is a former senior supervisory special agent with the FBI in Worcester, now a security specialist with the Edward David Investigative Company. Norma Alia Leon is a former deputy superintendent with the Boston Police, where she worked as a supervisor with the Boston Police Training Academy and the Bureau of Professional Development. So he is getting people that have experience, know what's supposed to be happening in these training places. Paul Joyce, a former superintendent at the Boston Police Department, where he supervised Anti-Gang Unit and Criminal Investigation Bureau, and is presently an assistant professor of criminal justice at Salve Regina University. Robert Harrington is a former superintendent with the Boston Police, where he was a supervisor in the Homicide Unit and Bureau of Internal Affairs. And Edith Asayo is a former victim witness advocate in the Homicide Unit of the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office and is working with him under regular meetings and conversations with the family of Mr. Delgado-Garcia. That is actually thoughtful and very kind that they have someone that will kind of inform them where this particular investigation is. Meyer noted that none of the members of his investigative team have any past or present affiliation with the Massachusetts State Police. When I was appointed, I made a commitment to Enrique Delgado's family to conclude the investigation into his death professionally, thoroughly, and responsibly. The independent investigative team with whom I am working is doing exactly that. The investigation is active and ongoing, said Meyer in a statement. A copy of their contract obtained by NBC 10 Boston from the Attorney General's office said Meyer is paid a rate of $500 an hour, while other investigators have an hourly rate of $100 per hour. These are people of high integrity. I'm expecting 100% high quality, high integrity results, said Jack Liu, retired judge and adjunct faculty member at Boston College Law, who said he was familiar with some of the investigators and their previous work in law enforcement. Asked about the amount of time that had passed without a public update on the investigation, Liu said, "Sometimes they take very long time to resolve, and that gives the suggestion that the police are getting special treatment. That is undesirable and the reason they should do it quicker, but they are not yet into an area that would be considered long for a police investigation. I know the matter is with the Attorney General's office and the special investigator she assigned," Governor Maura Healey said this week. "I'd like to see and join my entire administration in wanting to see that the investigation is completed as quickly as possible, so as there is resolution for the family, and we also have a final determination as to what happened." The Massachusetts State Police Academy plays a vital role in preparing the next generation of troopers to serve and protect our communities statewide, Colonel Joffrey Noble, superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police, said in a statement. The department has commissioned an independent assessment to provide valuable insights into the ways in which our training can best equip recruits to become highly skilled, community-focused troopers. We remain committed to ensuring all the training curriculum, staff instruction, physical space fosters professionalism, integrity, excellence, while prioritizing the health and well-being of our recruits. The boxing program at Massachusetts State Police Academy remains suspended. The state police add that there are changes underway, including Noble's appointment of Detective Lieutenant David Pinkham as the Academy's new commandant. In this role, he will oversee the selection of teaching staff for upcoming recruit training troop. Now, the department added that it's in the process of seeking independent assessments of the academy, focusing on areas including training methods, attrition, injury rates, injury prevention, fitness standards, organizational culture, leadership, and alignment with national standards. This is a bunch of cover our ass. Now, the problem is these investigations are costly. So there has been a price tag on this investigation so far. Now, this was published June 26, 2025, so it is fairly recent, but there is a price tag involved in this. And what the hell are you doing, Massachusetts? Do you just have money to burn? The cost for an independent investigation of the Massachusetts Enrique Delgado-Garcia's death has surpassed $300,000. An independent investigation into the death of Massachusetts State Trooper Enrique Delgado has cost $309,776, according to records obtained by Mass Live. The Attorney General Andrea Campbell's office provided an invoice and paid statements paid to private attorney David Meyer and his investigative team since his appointment as special prosecutor. Now, the invoice statements were provided in response to a records request. The invoice statement revealed that Meyer's investigation has billed for 722 hours from September 19th to the end of April, which includes disbursement payments for his investigatory team, flash drives, audio transcripts, and other things. The original contract signed on October 7th, 2024 was amended on February 5th, and it looks like he's kept mainly the same team. Now, both contracts list June 30th as the end date. His pay was listed at $500 an hour, while other investigators were at $100 an hour. Now, Campbell's office didn't return a request for comment. And these things cost money. Unfortunately, these are going to cost money, but we do have some at least hopeful news. In this. So it has been released on June 2nd of this year, so fairly recently, not super recently, that a grand jury is hearing testimony of his death. So they are proceeding forward as much as they, it is a long sort of slog. A grand jury has been hearing testimony concerning the death of Massachusetts State Trooper Enrique Delgado-Garcia, the Boston Globe reports. Now, Delgado-Garcia was hospitalized and later passed away after participating in a boxing training exercise. Again, I don't know how the hell you get the crap beat out of you to the point of death during a training exercise. Explain that, Massachusetts. But this was an exercise at the Massachusetts State Police Academy in New Braintree last September. Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell appointed former prosecutor David Meyer to lead an independent investigation into his death after Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early recused his office due to Delgado's. He was a witness advocate for that. The Globe reports that the grand jury testimony appears to be an escalation of that investigation, though there are no specific details on what is being discussed in proceedings. There probably will not be anything until they release if they found charges or grounds to charge someone. Delgado Garcia's family has been awaiting answers for months, and they say they suspect there might have been foul play. Few details about the investigation have been made public. Again, I know it's frustrating, again, when you hear all of the things. I will be digging into this deeper. But when you know something's wrong, when you have a history of having troopers that have less than great honor, there is that whiff of conspiracy no matter what. But unfortunately, they do have to keep the investigation private in order to possibly get to a trial. So as much as we'd like to know everything and make sure justice is getting done, even the people that did this are assumed innocent until proven guilty. And I think Karen Reed has reminded me that we have to presume innocence until there's evidence of guilt that can be proven. But it burns my biscuits, it scorches my grits that this family has had to wait so long for these answers. In the wake of Delgado Garcia's death, the boxing program at the academy was suspended, and state police launched an independent assessment of the academy, including training methods, attrition, and injury rates. So all the things that they said. Now, earlier this month, the state police announced a series of reforms and noted that an outside agency was being brought in for further assessment. So the wheels of justice grind slowly but relentlessly. I do hope that we get some answers, but more importantly, that his family gets the answers. They had to bury a 25-year-old who wanted to help his community. And doggone it, I hope they get answers. Even if their answers are heartbreaking, not knowing that uncertainty, that worry, it eats at you and it's just awful. So I really do hope that they are getting the love and support, and the victim witness advocate is good at getting them and, keeping them informed as much as they can of the investigation. My hope is that justice happens for Enrique Delgado Garcia and his family. And I hope it's evidence-based. I hope they, find the answers for the family first and foremost. That is the news about that. I have so many cases to get into, but justice is for everyone. And I hope that this family gets answers and justice, both of them. I will see you guys later. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because kindness does not equal doormat, y'all. Bye, you guys.